Good morning, my people. Konsa medical today. Tomori considered as his replacement by a team known as Aston Villa and Jack Grealish to leave the side of Man City to go back to Everton, where he went ahead to obviously have a flashy and good season. Smash like button, comment and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as don't miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Rokani David is my name and hope you guys are really having fun wherever you're watching us from. And it's really a very big opportunity that God has gone ahead to obviously bring us here alive, and we are here to obviously take you through the entirety of this particular side. And I'm telling you, it's really cooking in hot in here onto our beautiful channel. So please go ahead and subscribe. After subscribing, hit the notification bell. That will enable you get notified every time I upload a video onto this channel. I do believe that yesterday we went ahead to obviously put out some good number of stories in here that you guys have gone ahead to enjoy. And I know we are at 30,613 subscribers. That is really good. Now we are left with 97 subscribers to clinch 30,700, and I know we obviously gonna be hitting that milestone, because if I'm to trust anybody, it's you guys to trust, as you've been here for some time and you've gone ahead to put out a very huge performance in here for the rest of what you've gone ahead to obviously do. So I do believe that you have been such a nice audience. That's why I'm like up this early morning and I'm like, I have to come up and obviously give you these stories. Yesterday, we got a here we go of a man known as Konsa to the club of Arsenal. And when here we go comes in through like that, you know the duel. And the duel is simple. He has to first do a medical at the club of Arsenal. And Arsenal scheduled his medical to obviously happen today. And we do have some latest updates about the medical of this man that has been scheduled today. And this is what I want us to discuss in here onto a beautiful channel known as the Rokani Media Football. That is it. Now, Football London early morning today have told us the following, that Arsenal have scheduled a medical for Ezri Konsa after reaching an agreement for his transfer with Aston Villa. The England international has been linked with a move to Emirates Stadium all summer and now looks set to join Mikel Arteta's squad. That is it. Now, Arsenal scheduled Ezri Konsa's medical today. He has to arrive at the Sobhaliati Training Center to see to it that all goes on well. Now, the Standard Sport have told us that Konsa is expected to undergo a medical on Thursday morning, having already agreed personal terms on the contract with Arsenal and said his goodbyes to the staff and teammates of Aston Villa. Arsenal are keen to sign a new defender who could play at both centre-back and right-back this summer, following William Saliba's injury and fitness concerns over both Julian Timber and Ben White. Very well stipulated injury concerns for these two. And I tell you, the injury concerns are really there. As for Saliba, I've always told you, it's a back injury, and you know what it means when it's a back injury. A back injury is something that is hard to see to it that it really heals. But for Julian Timber, we thought after the holidays he will be back, but it's going to 3 months. We've seen nothing of him returning. They went with him to Spain and then returned to Sobhaliati Training Center, meaning that there was a setback and he had to come in here to see to it that he does his recovery further. Benjamin White, obviously, for him, is going to be sold by the club of Arsenal. That is it in there for you. So that's what we know. And his medical is obviously going to be say today. And we all know what the medical is all about, right? I told you the external body, the internal body and the organs, and then the mental, right? So they test your ears, they test your eyes, your nose, they test your chest, everything, you know, your blood, and so on and so forth. Then later they're like, his injury is okay. If it's not okay, they're like, you failed your medical. But all I know is that Ezri Konsa will obviously pass his medical, because when he returned from the World Cup to come to Villa, they had to obviously do a checkup before he went ahead to obviously join the training sessions for the side of Villa. Now, what is the talking point of this medical? I told you yesterday that the speed that Arsenal have gone ahead to use looks like there is something that has gone ahead to happen. And I gave you 3 scenarios. 1, setback of Timber's injury. 2, Ben White big offer in. Or even Ben White might obviously have gone ahead to sustain an injury in there for you. Now, on Friday tomorrow, Arsenal is playing a game of football against a team known as Coventry. And I thought that they are supposed to register a player by midday tomorrow, but they've told me that Arsenal has to register before today, midday, if Konsa is supposed to obviously play. Now, if Konsa is registered by today, that's when I'll understand that there is an emergency in the camp of Arsenal. But what have we gone ahead to get here? This is Ryan Taylor Sport. He has told us that Arsenal are not expected to beat Thursday's 12 p.m. registration deadline in time for Ezri Konsa to feature in the opener against Coventry City on Friday. So, Arsenal's plan will be known if midday surpasses today without him being registered with the Premier League. That is it. And if at all he is, then all will be well. But his medical is on today. Then this is John Tonley, is a Villa correspondent for Birmingham Live, has told us that it's understood Ezri Konsa to Arsenal could be completed before the weekend should the transfer accelerate as expected. Aston Villa have been assessing replacements through the summer window and will now need to act. Now, talking of replacements, because this guy has been playing 2 positions, then they might look out for an outfield player who plays in both, or they get in a right back and a centre back. And for the right back, we all know they've gone ahead to obviously get the deal of Aaron Wan-Bissaka, meaning that they do have a right back in their mind, and that is Aaron Wan-Bissaka, right? From Aaron Wan-Bissaka, you have to look at another defender. And you have to look at another defender because Aaron Wan-Bissaka is not that guy who will come in through and obviously feature predominantly in the central defense. They are not playing the central defense. Now, that means the side of Villa has to look out for a centre back, and one of those that Villa is looking at goes by names of Tomori, Fikayo, and we've been told Aston Villa interested in the 28-year-old AC Milan centre back Fikayo Tomori. Tomori likes Aston Villa as a destination. AC Milan can pocket 10 to 15 million euros for him. Now, I tell you, Villa is making bargains. Now, when you go ahead to read Bissaka to Aston Villa, right? How much have they paid? Let's check here. I really want to know how much was paid for Aaron Wan-Bissaka. How much did they pay to West Ham? I really need to know, because if they are getting in this guy for 15 million euros, that is like 13 million pounds. That means if even they get in for 15 million pounds, this guy, they will obviously have gone ahead to get in these a pair to replace Konsa, whom they've gone ahead to sell for £50 million at £30 million. And I told you, they do have like a £30 million profit on the sale of this guy. See how they're good at making business. They're doing smart business, you know. And the managers having a very big squad, but it's cheap, but it's efficient. That is it. But it's not only Tomori they're looking at, they're also looking at Tosin from Chelsea. Tosin is one of those that has gone ahead to obviously be sidelined by Alonso, and he has told him, you have to train alone. You have to train alone. And he has been joined by Liam Delap and Nicholas Jackson. So those three are out of the plans of Jabi Alonso. Now, who should be the right guy for these people to bring it through? Tomori, formerly at Chelsea. He has taken very many years without playing in the Premier League. Or Tosin, who was at Fulham and really looked good. And by the way, I think he's still younger than Tomori. In there for you. So, we wait to see. But Tomori has huge experience in the Champions League, you know, and playing at a big club. And he knows the ambitions in there for you. And we're here to wait and see what is the plan for this particular team known as Aston Villa. But they're doing good business. They're doing good business, and they're signing in some good players that I really believe can come in through and do the job. So we wait here onto the Rokani Media Football on what exactly will happen at a team known as Aston Villa. But the incomings are really impressive, and I think Unai Emery is really excited. Good thing with Aston Villa is they sell players expensively and they acquire players on a cheap. It's very rare for Villa to go in and sign a player for above £50 million. And if they go in and sign that player, like is it called Manzambi, you just get to know that that player is really very, very, very exceptional. Not so? Now, let's leave it at that, and let's obviously continue to see to it that we get in the best of the best out of this. Now, after that, let's go to Man City. Jack Grealish came off the bench when Man City was being destroyed by Arsenal last weekend in the Community Shield. And with him coming off the bench and really having some minutes, maybe it was like a lifeline. And many thought that this guy, Enzo Maresca, might be having a good look at this player and is like, he can do some good job. But we've gone ahead to get a story from San Matt B, who is a North Best football writer for The Sun, in there for you. And he has told us the following about Jack Grealish, that Jack Grealish has fallen in love with the idea of going back to play for Everton. Everton are in contact with Man City over a possible transfer for the player. Now, however much Everton are interested in this guy, there is a double departure of players that could change this whole transfer scenario. Tottenham Hotspur wants to take Savinho and Omar Marmoush. Now, Man City will have to look out at other players to play on the left, because you'll be left with Doku and Semenyo. And I think Ryan Checky can try a little bit. If they don't bring in reinforcements, then they'll be looking at keeping this player known as Jack Grealish, because if Maresca likes him, he'll be like, Jack Grealish, I really have you in my plans and you're going nowhere, because we've lost these two and we need you to start the club. So Everton has to blow their pinky finger to really see to it that City looks out for another centre forward and left attacking midfielder or left forward or right forward, depending on what the plan is for Anton Semenyo, because Anton Semenyo can play as a right forward and a left forward. Now, if you've lost Savinho then you need to look out at who you're obviously going to be bringing in through. And one thing I'm thinking, this guy could play as a 10 at Villa. I'm talking about Jack Grealish. Why don't they get him into the number 10 position and maybe tell Phil Foden, go ahead and really play as a right forward? So, Enzo Maresca has a lot of things to contemplate on, but we wait to see how immaculate they will look after these two have gone ahead to be sold to Tottenham Hotspur. Dizabi is obviously coming in through. Tough to get in these players. I brought you that story yesterday about these two. So, your reactions to Konsa medical today at Arsenal are welcome in the comment section below. Tomori to Villa as Konsa replacement. Your thoughts about it? Would you go Tomori or Tosin as a replacement for this guy? And lastly, what do you make about Everton's interest in Jack Grealish? We out.